Hello, Internet Super Friends. My name is Rich. You can call me Darth Geekula if you like. A couple weeks ago, I did a video on my DC Universe Classics collection. And I wanted to do sort of an update video. I've done a little bit of changing and rearranging on the shelves. So I wanted to do a quick video on the updates I made, as well as take a look at some of my other DC figures that did not make it into that first video. So first off, I've made sort of this Super Friends shelf. Behind the Super Friends is a Hall of Justice. That is a Hall of Justice that was part of the Young Justice line of action figures. The 3 1/4 scale figures came with a little piece of the Hall of Justice that you put together. So that was very fun to do. I love the Hall of Justice. I desperately wanted a Hall of Justice just to use as a backdrop. It's out of scale, but I think it makes a decent backdrop for these guys. Down below, I have the Legion of Doom, and I managed to find in Imaginext Hall of Doom. I think that's what it was called, the Hall of Doom. And again, it's out of scale, but it makes kind of an interesting backdrop. These figures were all shown in my last video, but I've just done some rearranging. And I just love having a Hall of Doom and Hall of Justice backdrop. Okay, on to the main collection. This Justice Society shelf has not changed. And that Satellite Era Justice League shelf has not changed. If you want some more details on that, I'm going to put the link to the first DC Action Figure Tour video I did that you can check out. This shelf also has not changed since that first video, except I threw in Red Arrow into this Teen Titans display. He's not in the right costume. It's actually, it's Red Arrow. I wish we had a classic Roy Harper Speedy figure, but that's the best one we have so far. As well, Beast Boy, I wish he was in his more classic Teen Titans costume. But so yeah, so a little change. I threw in Red Arrow there. And I also have made this sort of classic Golden Age Batman display. I had some Batman figures in this spot before, but I have a few more here now. So that's a little different. This shelf of the Metal Men and Legion of Superheroes, Green Lantern Corps hasn't changed. This is sort of my 90s Justice League International. That's changed a little bit, but not much. Here is my Superman shelf. Same figures as in the last video. I've just rearranged them a little bit and taken a few figures out. But yeah, not a lot of changes. These figures were all in my last video. These are my New Gods. This is going to be a New Gods shelf. I didn't have a dedicated shelf to the New Gods, but now I do. I put them all on one shelf. Over here is my Batman shelf. Big changes here. I had some custom figures, a lot of custom figures in this Batman shelf. Sometimes I look at my customs and I think, oh, they're okay. And other times I hate them and want to burn them. So I took out all the customs and did a little bit of rearranging. Actually, technically that Red Hood, he has a DC Collectibles Red Hood head now. And that Red Robin also has a DC Collectibles Red Robin head, New 52 Red Robin head. Just so he looks a little bit more like Tim Drake. So there's a few head swaps in here. That Batman, that's actually a Jim Lee New 52 Batman head on that Batman body. But yeah, so just a little bit of rearranging. Here we have the Justice Buster Collect and Connect from a couple multiverse waves ago. And over on this side, the Bat mech suit that Jim Gordon was wearing when he had to step in as Batman temporarily when Bruce Wayne went missing. That's also going to be a Collect and Connect multiverse figure, so that's going to go on this side, because I'm big on symmetry. Down here is my Batman villain shelf. We already looked at that. Not a lot of changes. Down here, kind of my Brave and the Bold shelf. Not a lot of changes there. Over here is a villain shelf. You're probably all getting vertigo. Not a lot of changes. Maybe a few things. Over here, over here, kind of a New 52 Justice League. I don't know if this is in the last video or not. And then see that big empty space in the middle behind Wonder Woman? There is a Collect and Connect New 52 Doomsday. He's going to go in there. So sort of have some villains in the background. That Harley Quinn is actually the Mattel Arkham Asylum. Not Arkham Asylum, Arkham City Harley Quinn. She kind of fits in as a modern Harley Quinn, comic Harley Quinn. Okay, so again, a few changes, but now let's take a look at some stuff that did not make it into the last video at all. Okay, first off, not Mattel at all, but instead the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series action figures. As all good people do, I loved Batman the Animated Series, so I was really excited to get these action figures. You'll see some kind of weird empty spaces. That's where figures are going to go. Obviously, Batgirl is going to go there. There's a Montoya figure coming out in a box set. Hopefully we'll get an Alfred here. Clayface is going to go back there. So I have some spaces made for the figures that are going to be they're going to be coming soon. Right below here we have perhaps one of my most favorite things ever done by Mattel, and that is the Dark Knight Returns action figures they have done. I am absolutely over the moon. Sorry about that. Absolutely over the moon. I don't think I've ever used that terminology before, but I just love the fact that we have Dark Knight Returns action figures by Mattel. I have a space as well for the Joker that's going to be coming out fairly soon. But yeah, I just love the fact that we have these figures. Next, we have the Mattel Watchmen figures, which I think I was in the last video, so that's pretty cool. Down here, we have some DC cinematic villains. Bunch of Suicide Squads there. Lex Luthor in his prison garb. The Collect and Connect Killer Croc back there. And over here, we have some cinematic heroes. That empty space you see between Flash and Arrow, that's where the TV Supergirl is going to go. I'll stick her in there. And then over here, we have the, what do they call this line? Movie Masters, the Mattel Movie Masters for basically the Nolan Batman verse. So I think those are underrated figures. And back there is the build a bat signal. So yeah, I think those are good figures for the most part. Okay, and on this very incomplete shelf, we have what I consider possibly the greatest Batman action figure ever made. The Mezco 112 Collective Dark Knight Returns Batman. I believe this is the preview exclusive. Here, this is his stand. There's my hairy arm. I'm going to try to put this so it's hanging up like that. But anyway, love this action figure. Down here, we have the Nightmare Batman from Batman v Superman. And up here, whoa, the only Hot Toys I own, the amazing Christopher Reeve Superman, and the Adam West Batman and Burt Ward Robin. So there, those are. I probably am never going to own any more Hot Toys just because they are expensive, but I am super happy to have these guys. Actually, if they were to make a Linda Carter Wonder Woman, I probably would get that because I think she would fit in very nicely up here. So there you go. Just a quick DC action figure collection update and a few new things that I didn't show in the last video. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you didn't get motion sickness too terribly bad. Okay guys, thank you so much for putting up with my shaky cam video, and until next time, I hope to see ya.